Hey guys, got a horror DVD review today. This is the 2012 Paranormal Entity 4, The Awakening. Now this is made by The Asylum, who are kind of a mockbuster company who basically rip off any big films coming out. And of course, as you can tell by looking at this, it is a Paranormal Activity rip-off, basically. It's the fourth one in the series, and they release them as the Paranormal Activity films come out. So this come out around the same time as Paranormal Activity 4 hit the cinemas. So it's a relatively new film, and I've decided to go review it today. So I've watched 1 and 2, reviewed them. I've not got number 3, but I decided since the stories don't continue, like, I've decided to go ahead and watch this one anyway and skip number 3. Like, Paranormal Activity series, you know, the story continues, it's got the same characters and the same kind of themes, but this one changes with each time. There's no ever recurring characters or recurring themes. If you've seen my review of number 2, I thought it was a terrible film. I thought number 1 was a terrible film, but this was an okay film. Again, it follows pretty much the same plot as number 2, but where they go to investigate John Wayne Gacy's house. But the only difference is it's Richard Speck who murdered, I think it was 7 girls or 8. I'm not too sure. I'm not familiar with this serial killer. But apparently he was all in one night in some kind of dormitory, and basically they go and investigate his dormitory and they make contact with him. One thing I did think was pretty cool about this film, obviously as you can see it's an 18. Usually these kind of films are 15s, you know, like Paranormal Entity, Insidious, Paranormal Activity, Insidious, and like Grave Encounters, they're all 15s, and this was 18, which I thought, I was interested. And it's more like a slasher than a paranormal film, to be honest, like an invisible slasher. Like, for the first half of the film you don't see the killer, but you know, he's slitting people's throats, he's ripping people in half, he's decapitating people, and there's some really decent kills in there, and quite a bit of violence, and some decent effects. You know, there's a lot of the violence, well, I think was practical as well. There wasn't too much CGI blood, there was plenty of free flowing blood, and I was really surprised. It really did surprise me. Overall, I think the film that wasn't too scary. There's a couple of good jumps in there, I have to admit. You know, there was a couple of good jumps, and I'd say overall this is a lot better than the first 2. I've not seen number 3, and I believe that's kind of like a possession kind of film, like Emily Rose. It's similar to that film, I believe. So, yeah, obviously the cast, it's very unknown. The actresses and actresses are pretty terrible. The decisions they make is absolutely stupid. Like, this is after people have been murdered. Like, they're still splitting off, going off on their own just to get killed. And, you know, it's obvious that they've sent them off on their own so they die. You know who's going to die and when, usually. And, you know, every character's a massive stereotype. I think, like, there's not a single person in there who's not, like, who's a unique, interesting character. They're all pretty bland and, you know, you've seen them all before in every other film you've watched. But still, I enjoyed it. There's some pretty good kills. There was a couple of scares. And towards the end, you started to see the ghost. Like, there's one example of the stupidity of some of the characters. Like, there was the ghost was in the corner. Like, obviously you could see through him, he was transparent. And the guy thought he was his friend. He was shouting his friend's name, and he's going like, "Is that you?" So, like, unless your friend's, like, often goes transparent, it's obviously not. It's obviously a ghost, because he was aware there was ghosts killing people. And another thing I noticed as well, which is pretty stupid, like, this is after people have been murdered and dragged off, and they're following a blood trail, and they see like a body, and she goes, "Okay, this is getting weird." No, it's been weird for a while. It was getting weird when things were slamming. It's pretty full-blown weird when people are getting murdered and dragged off into the darkness. Yeah, but that's just some examples of the stupidity of the characters. But overall, I did enjoy this film. I'm going to say if you're a fan of Paranormal Activity, it's almost better than Paranormal Activity 4. I mean, you know, obviously it's very similar to number 2. As I said, it's still a team of paranormal investigators going to investigate a house, a ghost sighting things. And, you know, it's very similar to Grave Encounters and obviously the second one. So the idea is a bit boring, really. I'm sick of found footage, to be honest. It's lost its effect on me totally. Like, even the Paranormal Activity films aren't even scary anymore. I remember when I watched Blair Witch Project, and even the first Paranormal Activity, it was really scary. But now they don't affect me at all. They've lost their effect, and it's really just become cliche, and I don't enjoy found footage anymore. There's so many films. They're a cheap alternative to making an actual film, and to be honest, it could be considered lazy filmmaking. I don't know. But yeah, that is my review of Paranormal Activity 4. I'm giving it I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 because it wasn't boring. I was enjoying it. I was interested to see how they were going to kill the characters more than anything, but it was okay, a couple of jump scares, and we got ratings as well. 5. So 2 5 out of 10. It's a decent film. It's by far the best in the series. And I'd probably say it's on par with Paranormal Activity 4, because that was a really terrible film. There's no scares in it. I mean, they made more of an effort in this, I believe. And it looks like they made more of an effort in this than Paranormal Activity 4. So yeah, there's probably going to be a 5 in the future, I think. because Paranormal Activity 5 is coming out, so I don't see why they won't do Paranormal Entity 5, because if you're familiar with Asylum, they bring out films, like, as I've said, to coincide with big releases. And I'd say it's probably their biggest, most successful films, because other things they do stuff like what's it, Mega Shark versus
Transmorphers.
Transmorphers for Transformers, and Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. If you've seen that, that's another well-known film of theirs. But they just release a lot of really poor, rip-off, low quality, low standard, nobody actors, cheesy films just to make a bit of money. But to be honest, these are making money, and I'm enjoying them. I'm going to keep buying them if they keep bringing them out, I suppose. So yeah, there probably will be a number 5. So that is my review, and thank you for watching. See ya.